Colorado Parks and Wildlife released 5 orphaned bear cubs back into the wild in Teller County. 3 of the cubs were recovered from the Broadmoor area this past July, plus 2 more north of Woodland Park in August. Since then, they've been cared for at a wildlife rehab facility. And now, at just under a year old, they're heading back into their natural habitat. Our John McMichael reports.
Today's a really exciting day because we have one of those big wins for wildlife conservation where we get to take 5 bear cubs that have been orphaned and at one of our rehabilitation facilities and release them back out into the wild. These cubs were down at our Frisco Creek Wildlife Rehabilitation Facility in the San Luis Valley. We picked them up this morning. They're in their route back here to Colorado Springs, and then we're going to take them up to Teller County and put them into some really good bear habitat this afternoon. This is what we are actually kind of call a fall release, and obviously we're tiptoeing on into winter here, but the idea being is that they will go out and they just have that natural instinct to den up. And our black bears here in Colorado, they're not true hibernators, but they go into something that we call torpor, which is a real deep sleep. And so what's going to happen is they're going to go out on that natural landscape, and they're going to realize that there's no food, and what that does is that naturally starts that process for them to den up and go into that hibernation or that torpor just naturally. One of the important things is obviously using licensed rehabilitators, and this one actually works for our agency. So they're making sure that they're eating natural foods, things that they're going to be able to find on the landscape, but then also making sure that they're not becoming human conditioned, so that they're not going to be comfortable around people, that they're not going to look right back to those places that got in trouble in the very first place. We have a really exciting partnership with the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo, who provided these GPS ear tags. And what that'll allow us to do is to monitor these bears into the future. And it's going to give us a lot of really great information. When do they go into their den? When do they come out in the spring? Where do they go? How do they move about the landscape? And really, at the end of the day, what's the overall success of this program? Whenever we relocate a bear, or in this case release cubs, we try to move them into good bear habitats. That's the first key, is where can they be successful? Where can they find natural food sources? And then we want to get them as far away from people as possible. It's very difficult to do in Colorado. If you think of all the mountain subdivisions we have, there's just not a place in Colorado that's free of human presence. But we do want to set them up as much for success as we possibly can.